6:04, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane off and running. Brian here with you, JP producing, starting you off at, well, that can't be right, 72 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge, gross. Broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. We've got a busy Tuesday morning for you this morning as we're counting down the holiday. I mean, you saw it on the roads yesterday. Everyone's counting down to Thanksgiving. Got a lot of ground to cover on this morning's show. We'll give you the rundown in just a little bit. But needless to say, it's all over the map, y'all. We're so widespread this morning. We'll get check-ins from Ascension Parish. We'll get check-ins from Breck. And I want to start a bigger conversation. In the wake of Thrive failing at the polls a couple weekends ago, this other conversation's bubbling up, and that conversation is, how can you have faith in someone at the polls on one day and no faith in letting them do their job on the next? We have a serious level of distrust with our government, and the government's earned a lot of that distrust. But it's just a two-way street. Former State Senator Rick Ward's going to join us in the 8 o'clock hour to have that conversation. Give you the rest of the rundown in just a minute, but we start off with top stories and trending.
Number 5.
As Public Works turned last night during Monday night's budget hearing, several of the East Baton Rouge Parish Public Works Department heads said residents might see a significant impact on response times if the proposed 2026 budget were to pass. Quote, we're going to either have to find a new revenue source that's going to help me provide contractual services to do what we need to do, or they're going to have to look at a new way to fund some positions, but also up the salary itself. That is according to Fred Rayford, who heads up transportation and drainage. Rayford says if the proposed budget passes, 11 positions will be frozen, 40 positions that were previously frozen will be eliminated. He says budget cuts could impact services like sign production, pavement marking, and traffic signal response.
Number 4.
Get ready for beefed up security in New Orleans for the Bayou Classic. From this Friday, November 28th through Sunday, November 30th, you're going to see increased presence from the state police and agents from the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. Troopers said they're going to be working alongside the National Guard to maintain the French Quarter's enhanced security zone.
Number 3.
Chief Financial Officer of the Capital Area Transit System has resigned, citing concerns regarding executive leadership within the agency. The resignation letter was dated for November 12th. That was at last week's meeting of CATS. Former CFO Sonny Hines was removed from as a signatory from CATS accounts. The East Baton Rouge Metro Council, which is responsible for appointing commissioners for the board, says they have not been made aware of the resignation that it has happened.
Number 2.
An inmate at Elaine Hunt Correctional died yesterday after a fight with another inmate. Sheriff Brett Stassi says the two inmates got into a fight in a cell. After the fight was over, one inmate collapsed, was taken to the hospital where he died. Authorities are waiting on autopsy results for an official cause of death.
Number 1.
Come December 1st, we're going to have numerous boots on the ground for federal law enforcement taking aim at illegal aliens in the state of Louisiana as federal immigration officers seemingly prepare to infiltrate the state. The state attorney general's office is cautioning that state lawmakers, in the last legislative session, state lawmakers established penalties for deliberately hindering the agent's work. In a statement put out yesterday, Liz Murrell warned of, quote, consequences if people interfere when ICE gets here.
Well, the cases against James Comey and Letitia James have both been dismissed.
So, but it sounds like they're going to bring them back or appeal them. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. It's okay.
Right.
We can go through this exercise. That's fine.
Yep.
We don't have anything else to do. Nothing real happening in the nation.
Right. Of course not. Give all our focus and attention.
Thing is, though, the case for appeal is a good case. I don't know. I want to just like pack up and move on, but I hear them loud and clear.
For sure. In other news, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump will participate. Melania, waking up. Will participate in the traditional pardoning of Thanksgiving turkeys.
Oh, you know what? It is time, and I hope my wife is watching right now. It's time to break out the Thanksgiving West Wing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a tradition?
There's two different Thanksgiving episodes of the West Wing. And yeah, one of them is one of my favorite scenes of all time. If you dug it up today, I would not be mad about that. They have 2 turkeys. They're supposed to pardon one. The pardoned turkey gets to go live a life, on a farm somewhere, and the other turkey gets, eaten.
Yeah.
And the president says, "Boy, if the Oscars were like that, I'd watch."
Man,
there's a whole
Hunger
series
Games
of
style.
it's a whole series of it's some of the best writing ever. And then the other Thanksgiving episode is the Butterball Hotline,
Okay.
where the president actually calls the Butterball Hotline.
Nice.
In order to get some, advice about like temperature for the stuffing and whatnot. So it's really, you don't have a whole lot of Thanksgiving holiday specials, right? They're all Christmas specials.
I was trying to think of like a Thanksgiving special of any show.
The West Wing had 2 of them. Friends did a good job. Friends did a very good job with Thanksgiving. But for the most part, Thanksgiving gets overlooked by everybody. So
it's one of those holidays.
Peanuts had one, but it was such a, they phoned that one in.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like, I will do it.
Yeah.
Let's get it over with.
Right. I guess we have to. Anyway. It's time. Christy, it's time for the Thanksgiving West Wings. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. 6. Oh, you got more.
Yeah. I've got, Grandma. What is it? Grandma? Grandma. The tortoise has died, Brian.
No.
It's okay. She lived a long life, though. Maybe the most famous resident of the San Diego Zoo was believed to be 141. Wow.
141-year-old tortoise passes away.
Man. I know.
No. I
thought we were taking a moment of silence.
No. I just can't get the bat off my shoulder. Joe Biden's childhood pet passes away. Is that what happened over at the San Diego Zoo? No, nothing. All right, fine. No, we're rolling up on 611 at Talk 107.3 FM. We are due up for a quick break. Got to tell you about my friends over at Vex European. You know who needs to listen to this. Anybody driving European vehicle. Oh, was out grabbing a couple beers with some friends last night. One of these friends is in town from North Carolina, and as we're making our way out of we went to the Mid-City Beer Garden. And as we're making our way out towards the parking lot, he says, "Oh, I got to see this 18-year-old car you've got here." Because in the Vex spots, I talk about that every day. I was like, I have an 18-year-old car, and she hums like she's brand new because of Vex European. And he's like, "Oh, you really do have an 18-year-old car?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm not lying over here. I'm dead serious." And she does run like she's brand new. Look, if you get a European vehicle, you bought that European vehicle for performance and longevity, and you can maximize both by having the top-notch expert technicians that they have at Vex European. Visit VexEuropean.com, hit the little drop-down tab, find your make of vehicle, then make your appointment. VexEuropean.com.
Let's see. Good morning, everybody. Best Thanksgiving movie, Planes, Trains, Automobiles. Thanksgiving movie. Okay. The light reminds you of the heating lamps at Chicken Shack. Brian's just oh man. Let's see. Yeah, that's good stuff.
What about Blue Store Chicken?
Blue Store
Chicken, Troy.
Brian's just basting up there.
He's getting ready for the Thanksgiving party,
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Bree Lynn is also in today.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. You can catch me on 100.7 at Tiger for the night show. I'm just sitting here giving John a hard time, JP. Yeah, I always tell him, "Damn it, John," because he breaks everything.
Tearing everything up. Did I tell you about the time with the wall?
I
tried to adjust it and I pulled the whole thing off.
Why did nobody tell me?
I don't know how.
Because that's my.
I don't even know how it came out of the wall like that. I guess I don't know my own strength.
So Brian.
I just took it. I just tried to adjust it, and it pulled off.
So what did Brian do? He had to
Nothing.
do a show with the wall.
Yeah, he did it. It was just wonky. The camera was still on him, but we just couldn't see.
He was probably so pissed, but he didn't allude to it, you know.
Oh, he was. He was kind of pissed, but. We had a garbage can that we kind of placed underneath it. It was kind of hanging low.
Wait, no, you did tell me about that.
Yeah.
You did tell me about that. John, what the hell's wrong with you?
I didn't know my own strength here. Let's see. Cuts.
The camera is the one. The camera's going to give me some fix. I'll write it down.
Oh, no, it shouldn't.
No, but it seems easier to use than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
No lie. The one, God, I can't remember what system we were using. The whole week while you were dying with flu.
And these are just a list of bumps I got.
For what? For you or
That's all. That's all music. This is all music. So I'll play.
Are we dead air?
Oh no, we're coming back, but Brian's late. Brian's not in. Getting some coffee. There he is.
We back around?
Oh,
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Oh, holy hell! All right. Oh. 616 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is sports time right about now, and it is one of the highlights of the Thanksgiving calendar, not just in South Louisiana, but nationwide. Talking, of course, about Southern and Grambling squaring off in the Bayou Classic. This will be the 51st Bayou Classic down in the Superdome, the Caesars Superdome this year. Southern rolling in at 1-10 on the season. They have not had the best year. Turnover at coach. Their interim head coach, Fred McNair, says this game is going to bring out the best in his team.
On Saturday, you will see two defined teams as Grambling and Southern come in this stadium, in this dome, and compete blood, sweat, and tears for one ultimate goal is to win. As the Jaguar Nation shows up, the Southern University Jag will show out.
Right, they always say throw out the record books. This is one where you actually mean that. Grambling State looking to beat Southern for the first time since 2021. That would give Grambling its first 8-win season since 2017. Their head coach, Mickey Joseph, says this rivalry between these two teams, it only lasts until the game is over.
Come Saturday, the Grambling State Tigers will be ready. Southern University Jaguars will be ready. We're going to battle for 3 hours. Then after that, we're going to go back and become that one big family. Because when Southern's not playing Grambling, I'm rooting for Southern. Because at the end of the day, this the boot, and we take care of the boot.
McNair and Joseph actually both coached together at Alcorn State back in 2013 when Joseph was the wide receivers coach. McNair was the quarterbacks coach. Your kickoff on Sunday in New Orleans is 1 p.m. I believe that's on NBC, if I'm not mistaken. So Southern, and it's just been a rough year for Southern after letting go of their coach, Fred McNair. Actually, he's done a decent job stepping in. Just doesn't have the horses to get it done right now. Meanwhile, the Saints might be looking at a kicker. I saw where our news partners in Louisiana Radio Network, Jeff Palermo, has the story. If you got it, we got Palermo on this one.
Tucker was suspended and released by the.
That would be Justin Tucker, former Baltimore Ravens kicker, who I believe just got eclipsed on the record longest kick ever, and he was suspended for some time. So, all right, back to Jeff.
Tucker was suspended and released by the Baltimore Ravens this year as a result of allegations of improper behavior with over a dozen different massage therapists. Head coach Kellen Moore on possibly signing the 36-year-old.
He's been a really good kicker in this league for a really long time, and he's had a ton of success, and he's been a leader for Baltimore for a long time. And there's been some stuff that's been unfortunate. He's gone through an experience, and I think it's about collecting what that experience was, and we'll evaluate the football aspect of it, and we'll evaluate everything else as well.
The Saints are trying out kickers after Blake Grupe missed 2 more field goals on Sunday. I'm Jeff Palermo.
The most accurate kicker in the NFL history. I mean, it brings up a good question. It does bring up a good question, and that question is, what's the point of having a 10-game suspension if you don't want anybody back after those 10 games? Like, he served the time that the NFL said he needs to sit out. Flip side of that is, if you're the Saints, who are you bringing into your locker room? What kind of a locker room guy is this? We know what kind of guy he is in other places, but can you turn over a new leaf? So either way, Blake Grupe's got to go. He's had to go for some time. What happened on Sunday? The Saints lost that game on Sunday because of Blake Grupe, plain and simple. Not just the field goals he missed, but the field goals they didn't attempt because they knew he'd miss them. It's 6:20. Here's the Fox Business Report. All right. Good morning, sweetheart. Welcome in, boo.
It's all coming back.
It's all coming
And
back.
It's all coming back.
Yeah. Let's see.
Damn it, John. So after the
21:30.
we read your notes.
And then we'll do that, and then we'll just take selector 2 off. The way it doesn't bleed into the.
After this airs, we'll take selector 2 off.
What's that? Oh yeah, like right now we could even take it off now because we won't use selector 2 again until 6:50. That'll be your money now.
Okay.
So yeah, technically we can.
Upright. I have like I've never done it before, but
No, but it's good to just be sure.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start off on I-10 eastbound coming into Baton Rouge from West Baton Rouge Parish. We're looking at some pretty serious delays on the Horace Wilkinson Bridge, as it were. Basically the width of the bridge. As you're coming across in from Port Allen, it is slow going from before Highway 1 and then slows down even more after Highway 1 to hop on the bridge. Both the upslope and the downslope of the bridge are looking slow. I'm not showing an accident yet, but I'm sure that's going to pop up. Ray will hopefully have that for you 10 minutes from right now. Outside of I-10 eastbound coming in from West Baton Rouge Parish, I-10 westbound coming in from Ascension Parish looks great. 12 westbound coming in from Baton Rouge. Looks like we got some volume around Range Avenue. not enough to make you want to change your route. And here's the good news for the morning, y'all. Surface streets, there are no accidents to report. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. Rolling over to 625 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. I'll give you that rundown as far as the guests are concerned on today's show. Coming up on Monday, it's Ice Ice Baby all over New Orleans. It's the Swamp Sweep is coming up, as it were. Jeff Crouere is the host of Ringside Politics. He's going to join us at 6:35 to talk about what to expect on that front. 7:15, what's the latest out in Ascension Parish? We get caught up with the Chamber of Commerce out that way. Donnie Miller going to be on the hotline at 7:15. 7:35, we get our Breck update from Janet Simmons. 7:55, going to squeeze in a quick guest to talk about how you can help out Front Yard Bikes for this Giving Tuesday. And it's kind of a different spin, if you'll pardon the pun. Stuart Gilly is going to join us there. Like I said during the open, I'm really looking forward to having this conversation in numerous parts, by the way, about the levels of distrust we have with our government. It really came into light when Thrive failed at the polls. And I point to Thrive BR Props 1, 2, and 3 from a couple Saturdays ago, because we just voted in a new mayor with a new vision, new party, everything brand new a year ago. This is his first big ask of the public, and the public said no. The public unequivocally said no to the person we just said yes to. Our level of distrust for our government, and the government deserves a lot of that level of distrust, but it's at a position now where, like, I don't know that they can govern. Rick Ward, former state senator, is going to join us to have that exact conversation, 8:15. Then we're going to check in on your Thanksgiving Day prices. What's your Thanksgiving Day meal looking like? Louisiana is the second most affordable state when it comes to Thanksgiving meals. Avery Davidson from Louisiana Farm Bureau going to join us at 8:35 to talk about that. Right now, we dive back in. Interim coach Frank Wilson holding his Monday press conference yesterday as LSU gets ready for Oklahoma. We're going to talk about Oklahoma in a little bit, but let's start off with a little housekeeping on LSU's end. A couple of injured guys that, well, Tiger fans want to be on the lookout for this weekend. Start off with cut 2, if you would, JP. How's things looking for Nuss?
We're going to try to see what he looks like today, or tomorrow, should I say, in practice. He was good in treatment this weekend, real early on this Monday to project. But we'll give him a go at it and see how he feels, and probably midweek be able to give you better answers to that when I come in here on Thursday or Wednesday.
I swear, his cadence and verbiage is so Les Miles. It's like listening to Les Miles all over again. Not the exact same voice. He's not doing a Les Miles impression. It's just the words he chooses to use, in the order he chooses to use them, at the pace he chooses to go. I don't know. It's bringing me back, and I'm loving it. All right. Meanwhile, too soon to call for Nuss. What about on the flip side of the football? Let's get a look at how things are for Whit Weeks, cut 6.
Whit came out of the game feeling good. We wanted to limit his opportunities so that he could be at his best in this game. I'm hopeful that he'll be able to play his best from a health standpoint in this upcoming game.
One more injury to look out for. That would be Mansour Delane, which Mansour Delane being injured honestly gave us the added benefit of getting the DJ Pickett show, which was nice. But how's Mansour looking coming up for this weekend?
Mansour Delane was good this morning, was good on yesterday's treatment. So we're hopeful that he'll be able to play in full capacity this game.
It's interesting where the Tigers are at right now from a number of different position standpoints, because normally as like you see bowl season approach, if you're not in it for the playoff, you're going to have a lot of opt-outs and whatnot. But LSU actually has a handful of guys that kind of need to showcase themselves a little bit. We might have the inverse or the reverse going for bowl season, as like if you're Garrett Nussmeier, you need to put something on tape that tells the NFL I'm my junior year guy, not my senior year guy, right? And doing that in live action will definitely help. As far as LSU is concerned, as a team going to Oklahoma, I've never been to Norman before.
What may be our biggest challenge of all year, a top 10 opponent. I don't know if they have a weakness on their defense for sure. On all three levels, their defensive line, their linebacker core, their secondary, pretty exceptional in the things that they have done in this season with most recent victories over Missouri and Alabama and Tennessee. Certainly a formidable opponent that's very, very talented, that's extremely well coached, that will see the Tigers go into Norman, Oklahoma for the first time. I've never been there in any capacity, not just at LSU, even at another place. I've never played there. Our university here, we've never been there. So it'll be fun. It'll be a great challenge for us, but certainly something we're looking forward to as we go there and take on the number 8 team in the country.
It's 6:30. Here's news. Yeah, but I'm gonna throw a little monkey in that wrench.
Okay, because I'm like, huh?
We are. We're legitimately the second most affordable, but I argue that there are things on our Thanksgiving table that the rest of the nation doesn't have.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me that shrimp stuffed melitons what they cost in Wisconsin because they don't have them.
Right.
What does oyster dressing run you in South Dakota? It doesn't. Like
those kind of things.
we're gonna have fun with the interview for sure. Avery's a good dude. He's a longtime pro. He used to be with WAFB back in the day. So.
What's his name?
Avery Davidson.
He was a reporter at one time.
Yeah.
I think I knew him. Okay. Or know of him. Y'all ready for Thanksgiving, JP?
I'm ready.
Y'all
Going down to
went to
Homa.
Rouse's yesterday because I didn't want to brag Walmart because I heard Walmart was sold out of a lot of stuff. So I went to Rouse's
Yeah,
and they
Walmart's-
were crowded. And the Rouse's was starting to get barren too. And so I'm glad if y'all don't go today, y'all might not get all the y'all stuff.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
your wife already has some stuff.
She's prepared. She's way more prepared than I am.
That's funny. God damn it, John.
I mean, I've been the type to like go Christmas shopping on,
Me too.
on my birthday, which is the 23rd.
I will go Christmas
So,
shopping on Christmas Eve. Y'all.
I'm like, ooh, I've been there.
Look, Brad.
I think that's how it is. Like, there's that one person. Those two just are attracted to each other. The one who just does not have it together, and the one who's like really prepared for everything. But yeah, definitely looking forward to Thanksgiving this year. It's gonna be good.
I am too.
So this next segment, it's gonna be Jeff Crouere. I'm gonna send you his number because usually I call him.
Okay. Yeah. Send me all your numbers and
Yeah. Yeah. Transfer as many of them over as you can because.
Yeah, I would say who all picks always come along. Yes,
Franz and Haggai need to be in there. Franz, Haggai, and Don, even though they're always in studio, you need their numbers anyway. Haggai. Not always. Sometimes it's live, but mostly. Shame on me. I totally forgot to mention the Pelicans. With the 143 to 130 victory over the Chicago Bulls last night, the Pelicans moved themselves to 3-15 on the season. Playoff run starts now. Okay. There's like more than a handful of state legislators in there too. Paula Davis, Dixon McMakin, Emily Chenevere should top the list because they're local. Barbara Freiberg should be in there because she's local. Vanessa LaFleur should be in there. She's local. Um, Speaker DeVilliers should be in there. John Weibel should be in there. Roger Wilder. Yeah, it's and at some point you'll need to call you'll get Crouere. 636 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. About to visit down in New Orleans, get caught up with Jeff Crouere, host of Ringside Politics. In just a quick minute, do need to remind you of the folks over at 180 Pros. 180pros.com is the website, 180pros.com. 330-2200 is the phone number, and that is a 225 number because they're local, which is all the difference when it comes to your tech, y'all. Whether you're talking about cybersecurity, building a network, maintaining a network, 180 Pros is not your IT provider. They're your IT partner. And yes, you can call them and get same-day response. Something's going wrong with your system, same-day response. It's an intricate problem that involves a lot of steps. Simplified billing. You're not going to get line item out the wazoo. This is your success. Their success is based off of your success. That's what it means to have a partner in 180 Pros, 180pros.com. All right, time to get caught up down in New Orleans. And, well, first of all, before we bring them on, shame on me for not mentioning during sports that your New Orleans Pelicans, ladies and gentlemen, were a 143 to 130 winner over the Chicago Bulls last night in the Smoothie King Center. Posted up their third victory of the season. The playoff run starts now. Let's welcome aboard Jeff Crouere, host of Ringside Politics.
Yeah. Whoo.
It all turned around last night, Jeff. Our boy Todd Graffinini on the call.
Oh, yeah. No, it was, it was good. It was good. Yes.
So, I don't want to cross the streams with like talking about competitors and whatnot. We carry a handful of the Pelicans games on our sister station, 104.5 ESPN. I got to tell you, I love Todd Graffinini and JD on the call so much. I think the team's abysmal. But if I'm out in my car at night and the Pelicans are on, I'm sitting in the driveway when I get home for an extra 15 minutes till the next break. Like they are so unbelievably fun to listen to, and not with the good stuff, with the bad stuff. There was a run, not last night's game, but the game before that. There was a run where the Pelicans missed 6 shots underneath the basket, like all 6 putbacks in a row. It was like there was nothing but Angel Reese on the team. It was horrible. But Graf's call on this was just no, again, no. They're on a different level.
Yeah, I mean they're very, very, very good. I enjoy them as well, and they're sort of a bright spot in a tough season. But you know, we talked about all that on Politics for the Punch. It was a lot of fun where we brought up the woes that our teams are having, and my gosh, the Saints again, and gee whiz, I mean, and the kicker going to need to come in with a new field goal kicker, and of course,
I know. And they're bringing in former Baltimore kicker Justin Tucker, giving him a look.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, and look, he's coming off a suspension for kind of doing some dirty things.
Right, and he's one of the historic greats of all time.
Yeah.
But so we'll see. It's a tough situation for both teams, and we're hoping for turnaround for the Pelicans is young. The season's just started.
Right.
I mean, they've already gotten rid of the coach, and
yeah,
Zion is in witness protection. I mean, it's just
he is
bad deal.
Yeah, it's his full name is Zion again off again.
Right. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yep. So, all right, let's run down the calendar. It's so Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Ice Monday is what we got going on, right?
Right. And the Attorney General is sending out warnings that you cannot impede what is going on or you're breaking the law.
Mm-hmm.
And, laying the groundwork for what could be protests and, opposition. We've got Helena Moreno, putting up a database for, illegals to access if, they want resources available. And I mean, it's the same thing that we've seen in some of these other cities where you have ICE coming in red states and blue cities. I guess a similar situation in Charlotte, because North Carolina is a Republican state and Charlotte's a blue city. So same sort of thing. I just don't think we'll have the level of protest they had, but I don't know.
So it's kind of a multi-part discussion to have on it. Because on the one hand, when you look at where ICE has gone, have they been effective? I mean, we've seen enough, ICE raids at this point, or we've seen enough usage of ICE to try and remove illegals from individual communities. Have they been effective as far as removing illegal aliens? The part of the conversation we can't have yet, because we don't know long-term effects, we don't have the sample size, is did pulling illegals out affect crime in these localities?
Right. And I think, we've seen certainly some good signs in D.C. We've seen some progress looks like they could be made in Charlotte. We certainly have issues here in New Orleans that we can have help with. I mean, even though crime is down, we still have way too much crime here in the city, and we just don't have enough police officers. So, the state's helping with the state police, and now we have the feds coming in and doing this sort of a burst. And this isn't going to be permanent, obviously. Mm-hmm. This is just a short-term blitz where they try to, do what they can do. And don't forget, it's not just New Orleans. I mean, they're going to be working in the suburbs. They're going to be working in South Mississippi.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the people that is the happiest is my old classmate, Keith Conley, the police chief of Kenner, because he knows Kenner's got a serious problem.
Yeah. Well, and there is a natural, a natural following of, if you're in a place that's growing, you're in a place that has construction. If you're in a place that has construction, you're in a place that has day labor. If you're in a place that has day labor, you're in a place that's going to have illegal aliens.
Exactly.
So it's that sequence of events, or that sequence of logic fills itself out every single time. Now, flip side of this, Jeff, and I haven't heard anything up at Baton Rouge on this, but the flip side is the immigrant side, the illegal immigrant side. I hate to even put this in the universe, but have they learned anything about how to duck, as we've seen this in other cities?
Well, I mean, I think they're having people trying to help them evade. Mm-hmm. Where, I mean, you've had the publicity about where ICE is going and how to take evasive action. I mean, in Charlotte, you had all the parents take their kids out of school. I mean, they had some of these schools that were barely anybody in there because they didn't drop their kids off because they were worried that they would be apprehended doing so. So. Yeah, I mean, I think there's awareness, and I think people are going to be staying close to home and being very leery about going into Home Depot or Lowe's and the places where maybe you'll see congregations. And yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what their strategy is going to be. The goal is I think 5,000 or so. So we'll see if they can come up with that many or more.
Well, and
again, it's going to be a metro regional sort of a focus. There's a lot going on in South Mississippi, I'm sure. A lot going on in Jefferson Parish.
Yeah,
I see a lot of people in Jefferson that are construction sites that I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
I'll tell you where I'm eyeing up, and I don't know if this is part of the plan here, but East St. Tammany Parish, where 12 meets back up with 10, where you have
Right.
that, for lack of a better term, distribution center for human trafficking. Like, to me, that would have to be a must on the checklist, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm sure that's probably part of their plan, and then going down the Gulf Coast some in Mississippi, and seeing what they find there. But they have cooperation, at least from the governor's office, in both Louisiana and Mississippi, and certainly in the local governments down in Mississippi, there'll be cooperation. It's just really in New Orleans where they're going to find opposition. And that did come up in our panel last week, and I'll tell you, that's a hot issue. I mean, there's a lot of anger among Democrats about what ICE is doing, and they're not happy that they're coming here.
Is there room for their argument there? For the immigrant family who's been here for 20 years, for the immigrant family who the only thing they've done illegally is cross into our country, but like they're part of the workforce, they're taxpayers,
right,
as far as sales tax or whatever is concerned. Like, is there an argument to be made that for every criminal we pick up off the street, there should be an equal move to get people who have been here forever? Let's get them on the books.
Right. No, I understand the argument. You have people that are working with families, people that are working in jobs that have been here for a long time, that are illegal but are fixtures, and I can understand the argument, the very, very sympathetic argument for these folks. However, technically, they're breaking the law. They're not here legally, and I think there could be some effort there, but I think they're mostly going to be looking at folks that are not long-term fixtures, that are not like the woman in Lakeview that had been married to an American and was a mother and was in her 70s. It was here since literally the fall of Iran, and was picked up a few months back, and then of course that was a big story, and she wound up being returned to her family because there was a lot of blowback against it. But there are enough people that are here that are not long-term fixtures that they can focus on, in my opinion.
Same, yeah. Which brings back around the part of the conversation where we're talking about those who are just afraid to show up for work, afraid to show up for school. And there might be some of that fear might be undue. I can't say it because I'm not in their shoes, but some of it might be undue fear because that's not who they're looking for specifically.
Right. And we'll have to see, what kind of presence they're going to have here. I mean, how big is the effort going to be? So I know a lot of people are very curious to see what Monday will bring as far as this crackdown. But the whole nation will be looking at New Orleans and seeing what happens here. I just hope the protesters don't go crazy and don't create a scene, don't create attacks against these officers.
Yeah.
I want them to be respectful and do what we normally do here in New Orleans, and that is have protests, but don't have violence. That's what I don't want to see.
100% on board with you on that. All right, I wanted to talk some budget this week. We might get to that in a later week. We got a minute to go, and Jeff Crouere, he's got to hop on air in like about 10 minutes from right now. So before I let you go, I got to ask you, what is such a Frank Davis question? What is on the Crouere household Thanksgiving table that makes it uniquely with Louisiana?
It's a tradition, a family tradition that we always have for the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. My mom started this, and then she was the best cook of all time, and unfortunately she passed away a few years ago. Oyster dressing is a complement to our Thanksgiving and Christmas meals. It's just a family tradition. I mean, I just find it to be something I look forward to the most. Now, my sisters have, picked up the baton and now make it, and it's something that makes it a little unique. I don't think everybody's got oyster dressing.
I don't think so either.
You saw it's something that is really good. We look forward to it.
Yeah, you saw where Louisiana's the second most affordable Thanksgiving dinner in the country. And I'm like, can you really gauge that? Or are they only looking at the garbage that other people eat, not the stuff that we eat? So
right.
Yeah.
I mean, we got something to be proud of. That's
we
right.
do. That's what I'm saying. That's what it sets us apart. You got to get up on air. We always appreciate the time. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. He's Jeff Crouere, host of Ringside Politics.
All right. Take care, Brian. Thank you.
You too. Talk to you soon. It's coming up on 650 at Talk 107.3 FM. Here comes your money now. Not on you, boss. Not on you. It's not on you.
5001. That's like, oh, man.
I know. I see if Mathern's makes oyster dressing. We don't. My in-laws don't make it. My Aunt Carly makes it, and she makes it better than anybody. But that's the Louisiana way. Is like your aunt, your grandma. Like that's who makes it better than anybody.
Right.
Doesn't matter whose aunt, whose grandma. Your aunt, your grandma. She also makes these cauliflower patties that are like,
Which who would have thought, But,
right, like little. It's like smashed down cauliflower and then pan fried. You know.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You dip it like in a ranch or something.
Man, I bet.
No, we just eat
You
them.
don't need 'em right- you don't
Eat them
need
like
them.
potato chips.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
They're thicker than potato chips, but
So you don't pull it off the skimmer anymore. I call
What's
it a
that?
skimmer. Like when we go to post it to the website, you don't post it from the skimmer anymore.
Oh,
This
that's
cuts down
yeah,
down.
that's a different process. That's art. Now we go through Art 19, and then we still do the WordPress. Yeah, I'll show you that after.
Okay.
But yeah,
see, I said my in-laws don't have oyster dressing. My wife texts immediately, but we do have Melatonin. All right, yeah, you do.
Oh, so she's listening.
Uh-huh. With the shrimp in them, and they're awesome. They're unbelievably good. Is it 1,000 degrees in here today?
I find it pretty warm.
Yeah.
I know. I have a cardigan on, but yeah, I'm like.
Well, I like legit don't know because like I'm not at 100% right now. That's
I'm just getting over a stomach virus.
Yeah.
oh.
Y'all look good.
We had Chris and I went over to some friend's house on Sunday night and they made ribeyes. And I'm a total steak snob. But my buddy Michael Clay, he can throw down. He can freaking throw down on a grill. So that was Sunday, and then last night I had a friend then from out of town who is bearing a striking resemblance to Andrew Jackson these days. It's crazy with the hair. His hair's like all grown out, like poofy out the sides and whatnot.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, dude, you look like a $20 bill. You look like a $20 bill. So my buddy, he's probably listening right now if he's up. Chandler, what up? Oh man. So, but this is 2 nights in a row where one night just heavy on the red meat, the next night heavy on the Andy Gators. So
your stomach's like torn up right now.
my blood pressure is
Those Andy Gators.
I'm 10% ABV. That's good and mellow.
So good. That and I like Ghost in the Machine too.
Andy Gator's not an IPA though. The Ghost of Machine's an IPA. IPAs are like they're sour or tart, whatever. Oh, holy shit! Yes, we do. Sorry, she says, and we've got a party tonight. Oh my god!
Oh, y'all are eating out again. The holidays are busy, y'all.
I know.
I guess it's a blessing and a curse because y'all know everybody.
All right, I'll rally. We'll get it. Might see about recording half of tomorrow's show. So you have like little, micro breaks built in.
There we go.
Google Rufino's oyster dressing.
Oh,
Byron says, yeah, Google.
They have a how-to video on how to make it. I don't want to make it.
Right. I just want to eat it.
I want to just go buy a gallon of it somewhere.
You getting sick, Brian?
What?
I said you sound like you getting sick.
Mm-mm. Haven't heard this one in a long time. Oh, grab the Kiffin watch. And Frank Wilson cut 11. 6:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Thanks again to Jeff Crouere, host of Ringside Politics, for hopping on board right there. I love getting caught up in New Orleans like every Tuesday with Jeff. And we were going to talk budget a little bit, but the ICE conversation obviously was going to dominate this week. As we get closer to the end of the year, we'll talk, because there's a lot of budget comparisons going on right now between tightening of the belt here, tightening of the belt there. Where they're short there, where we're short here. What's being done to make up ground? That's, we can share a little information, see if we can't move ourselves forward. Talking a lot about the holidays as well. Thanksgiving, of course, coming up on Thursday. Just the opening of the holiday season. If you're the person in charge of your company's Christmas party, if you're in charge of the menu, if you're in charge of the food, Matherns.com, or download the Matherns Rewards app. Matherns has got you covered on Highland, just west of Kenilworth, Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center, directly across the street from Tiger Stadium, downtown on 3rd Street. Matherns has got you covered. And when it comes to catering for the holidays, they are in their zone. Whether you talk about just, we'll knock out a couple sandwich trays, no problem there. Oh, we'll get some chicken fingers, no problem there. Go deeper. They've got 54 different trays to choose from. Hit them up. Let them take care of the catering for your Christmas party. Let them take care of the catering for your Christmas. It's Matherns. All right. Do we have time to dive in? We do have time to dive in. Okay. Was wondering when this was going to happen, when the streams were going to cross. Getting back around to LSU football. Not so much the current state of LSU football, but where it's headed next. You know what? I think it's time for a Kiffin watch.
Where's the lane train headed? Hoo, hoo. This is Kiffin Watch 2025.
All right, Kiffin Watch 2025. We're all in the wait and see mode right now. We're not going to know anything until after the Egg Bowl, allegedly, until something leaks out ahead of time. It is time for the rumor mill. It is time for the speculation. It is time for all the irresponsible allegations to make themselves heard. That's what's going to happen all week long. One of the questions that I hadn't heard asked yet, though, is how is it affecting this current LSU football team? Frank Wilson got the question yesterday. Cut 11, please.
I think they want to play football. I think they live in a social media world where it comes toward them, but that's the uncontrollable. We can't control those things. And so I encourage them to control what you can control. And what we can control and what this game will become, even not so much about Oklahoma, but about us, right? These self-inflicting things that we have done, continue to do. How do we rid ourselves of these habits? They're not new. And in some areas, we've seen dramatic improvement. When you look at what we've done 2 weeks ago to this past week in a special teams unit, when you look at these last couple of weeks and since we've instilled these 9-on-7 things, what it's done for the mantra of our defense, if you will, and their want to and salivating to go hit somebody offensively. We just need to have a consistency. And if we can have a consistent group in there at one time, outside of playing musical chairs, I think we could try to get some type of cohesiveness.
Y'all, I promise I will eventually get over him being Les Miles. I'll eventually get over that for sure. But that was such a Les Miles answer to that question of how do you keep the search from being a distraction? And I'll give you a perfect parallel. If that were Ed Ogeron, the answer would have been block out the noise. That's it. Hour 2's next. done with cuts for today. I know. Same. And when she started posting all over social media, like she really blew up her socials, her personality came out so great.
I know at first, like I remember watching her very first weather report. I was like, but then once she started getting comfortable and settling in,
Yeah, the more she was herself, the better she was.
I could tell that first week was just still.
Yeah.
The same.
7:05 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now, broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. Is it time for your IT to do a 180. Hit up 180pros.com. Brian here with you. JP producing, getting you ready for a busy second hour. Check in on Ascension Parish. Donnie Miller is going to join us from the Ascension Parish Chamber. I know it's still November. It's too early for the year in reviews everywhere, but we're going to get a little bit of a year in review from the Ascension Parish Chamber because they have had one hell of a year. Janet Simmons from Breck slated to join us a little bit later on this hour, as is Stuart Gilly, talking about front yard bikes and how you can help. Giving Tuesday's just around the corner, and they've got something cool going on out that way that I would like to share with you. So Stuart's coming up 7:55. Right now, though, to start off the second hour, we've got top stories and trending.
Number 5.
That was Fred Rayford's turn last night. Talk about the budget, Monday night's budget hearing. Several of these Baton Rouge Parish Public Works Department heads, and they came to the table to say residents might see a significant impact on response times if the proposed 2026 budget were to pass. Quoting Fred Rayford, quote, "We're going to either have to find a new revenue source that's going to help me provide contractual services to do what we need to do, or they're going to have to take a look at a new way to fund some positions, but that'll fund some positions, but also beef up but also up the salary itself." That, according to Fred Rayford, he says under its current form, it's going to have to freeze 11 positions. 40 positions that were previously frozen will be eliminated. Rayford says budget cuts could impact services like sign production, pavement marking, and traffic signal response.
Number 4.
Get ready for beefed up security in New Orleans for the Bayou Classic. Starting on Friday, running through Sunday, you're going to see increased presence from state police and agents from Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. Troopers say they're going to be working alongside the Louisiana National Guard to maintain the French Quarter Enhanced Security Zone. The FQESZ is the horrible acronym would have it.
Number 3.
Why even put that in parentheses? No one's going to call it that. No. Chief Financial Officer for CATS, the Capital Area Transit System, resigned, citing concerns regarding executive leadership within the agency. The resignation letter was dated for November 12th, and at last week's meeting of CATS, former CFO Sonny Hines was removed as a signatory from their accounts. East Baton Rouge Metro Council, which, by the way, is responsible for appointing commissioners to the board, says they were not made aware of the resignation or that it had happened.
Number 2.
An inmate at Elaine Hunt Correctional Center died Monday after a fight with another inmate. Sheriff Brett Stassi said the two inmates got into a fight in a cell. After the fight was over, one inmate collapsed, was taken to the hospital where he died. Authorities are waiting on autopsy results for an official cause of death.
Number 1.
Come December 1st, we're going to have numerous boots on the ground for federal law enforcement taking aim at illegal aliens, primarily in New Orleans, but it'll be a regional thing. Federal immigration officers seemingly, not seemingly, they're on their way here, and they'll be here on Monday. State Attorney General's office, Liz Murrell's office, is cautioning that state lawmakers this year establish penalties for deliberately hindering the agent's work. In a statement Murrell put out yesterday, she said there will be consequences if people interfere.
Well, the cases against James Comey and Letitia James have both been dismissed,
but will be appealed.
Of course.
Yeah. They will avail themselves of every legal avenue possible. Understood. Oh. I know. What are you gonna do? What can you do? Nothing.
Not much at all.
Nothing.
Nut. Moving on?
Yeah.
Okay. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump will participate in the traditional pardoning of Thanksgiving turkeys.
See, this is the thing, man. This is the thing. They're going to pardon a turkey.
Right.
Which means another turkey's not going to get a pardon.
I know.
Here's the thing, though. That turkey committed no crime.
It's a cruel world, man.
That turkey didn't. How do you get a pardon if you didn't commit a crime? Meanwhile, the other turkey just minded its own business.
That's it.
Born and raised in the United States. I don't know if his parents were. But, I mean, this is not like an illegal turkey.
No, man.
This turkey didn't come over across the border bringing fentanyl with it.
Do we
not
know
a fentanyl
that,
turkey. No. Turkeys don't bring fentanyl.
We don't know that.
They bring tryptophan.
Oh, okay.
It just.
Okay. I like that.
I'm not going to continue that bit because I'm going to get myself in trouble. I didn't realize how dark that got.
So we're here for. We're here for it. Well, Grandma, the tortoise, has died. Speaking of, Anyway, it's okay.
Wait, no. Finish.
No.
Speaking of what?
Just.
I
don't think I have to say.
JP.
Well,
You nasty.
I didn't.
No, he didn't have an end to that sentence.
I didn't say
he
anything.
did not have an end.
I didn't say anything.
By the way,
Go
this
ahead.
is Brittany, everybody.
Yeah, JP.
I didn't say anything.
Where were you going with that?
He
Though?
wasn't. He had no end to that sentence. I could see it in his eyes. He's like, yeah, I opened this can and I didn't have a cup to pour it in.
Yeah.
I was
not
a cup to pour it in, Brian.
Yeah,
that's it. Yep.
All right, get back to Grandma.
Well,
Grandma's a 141-year-old tortoise.
Yes, or was,
Well,
yeah.
was.
I mean,
passed away at the San Diego Zoo, oldest creature at the zoo. It's just we all say goodbye to Joe Biden's childhood pet, 141. Oof.
Gosh,
don't be mad at me. I'm not 141.
I'm not mad, but
holiday travel picks up in earnest tomorrow. Going to be a lot of folks in the air. If you are one of those folks, before you head down I-10, if you're heading down I-10, did you give the Baton Rouge Metro Airport a look? I highly, highly recommend that you do. Flybtr.com is the website. You can map out your flight at flybtr.com. I tell you what, just go to the homepage, scroll down just a little bit, and take a look at the arrivals and departures. You get a better idea of where they're coming in from and where they're going to. And, there are connecting flights to get you to points beyond as well. But one of the reasons that I love talking about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport is the overall experience is so much greater. You complain about, I'll drive down the interstate because I'll get a direct flight. Okay, well, you're adding 2 hours round trip to that to get that direct flight. You're adding a buttload of parking fees to get that direct flight. You're adding a much worse TSA experience to get that flight. As I say, there's a number of really great direct flights at Baton Rouge Metro Airport, and they are growing every day because when they add a direct flight, we use it. But take into account the whole experience. Rather than driving down and paying an extra couple $100 to park, how about paying $12 to an Uber? Like, it's so much more convenient, and in the long run, turns out to be cheaper. Learn more at flybtr.com. Quick break. We got Donnie Miller from the Ascension Chamber next. Yeah. She should be here shortly. Some days it's reaching. You're like, oh. Yesterday was like that. It was like I was scratching the bottom of the barrel. 7:15 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along, coming to you from the 180 Pros studio. It's time to head down I-10 a short stint, check in Ascension Parish. Donnie Miller heads up Chamber of Commerce over there, on with us right now for kind of a well, Donnie, you get the first bite of the year in review apple, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, we're just down the street, down I-10, not too far away, man.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you on board. First of all, before we get into anything else, kind of asking this of everybody, okay? We got Avery Davidson from the Farm Bureau coming on before the show's over with. Louisiana's ranked number 2 in the nation for most affordable Thanksgiving dinner. I've been pushing back on that because I don't think you can compare a Louisiana Thanksgiving dinner to anywhere else in the rest of this, rest of this country. Like, you're not going to find shrimp stuffed melitons in North Dakota. You're not going to find oyster dressing, in Ohio. So what on the Donnie Miller Thanksgiving table makes you uniquely Louisiana?
Oh, for sure, the dirty rice. Yeah, I mean, you can't skip it, and a little bit of smoked sausage tossed in. It is true Louisiana.
Yep, absolutely, love that.
But really, Brian, it's the conversation's been who's cooking what type of turkey, and it's not are we cooking one turkey? It's how many turkeys are we cooking, and how many different ways are we cooking? I think that's true Louisiana as well.
No, absolutely. Yeah, we got the we haven't cornered the market on the fried turkey, but I would argue we do it better than anybody else out there.
Hands down. I mean, the fact that you have guests on talking about fire safety and frying turkeys, it's bubbled to the surface. Absolutely.
And our latest installment of Hey Y'all, Watch This. Ascension Parish has had one heck of a year. Let's talk about it. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the growth and engagement?
Yeah, I mean, Ascension Parish has just been a rocket ship. I mean, it's been exciting to watch over the past 2 years. It's been fantastic to be on the ground floor, since January, having a front row seat. But it is truly a rocket ship and no end in sight. The amount of development that's coming to the parish. I mean, it's in the trickle down effect all the way down to those that need it most. We're going to see it. And, we're at 130,000 people in Ascension, give or take a little bit. And I think you're just going to see this population continue to double over the next 7 years.
Talk with Donnie Miller from the Ascension Parish Chamber. Give me the lowdown on the chamber itself. I mean, y'all have seen membership, not just citizens in Ascension surge, but membership in the chamber surge too.
Yeah, our team has been active, extremely active, and we're just shy of 600 members. To put that in perspective, your BRACs, your partnerships, those are multi-parish types of membership organizations, and those BRAC has partnership has 1,300 members. We look at Jefferson Parish, which has a population of a little over 400,000 people. They're bumping up against the ceiling of 1,000. But for a parish our size, we're easily top 10 in the state. And again, no end in sight in the sense of how we're going to continue to grow.
Well, and with that, you've had a slew of ribbon cuttings. In fact, if we can rewind the clock back to 2024, Donnie, you had a good year then, and then literally doubled it this year.
Yeah, I attribute that to a few things. Yes, there's some energy. Yes, we're doing all the right things within the org, but we have a team that's focused and a team that's really come together this year. And, I have a business development membership service individual, Denise Kerfassi, and Denise has managed all of the 22 and 2024. But this year, it really hit the ground running and making sure that this is something that our members can take advantage of. And yeah, we've hit over 44 ribbon cuttings this year. And it's a nice to have, it's a neat thing for a chamber to be involved in, but really what it's signaling is growth, right? And it's not just growth within our industrial sector, it's all the way down to our mom and pop organizations.
Donnie Miller from the Ascension Parish Chamber is our guest. Let's talk about that, because Ascension is, I don't want to say unique because it's not completely one of a kind, but it is a little bit different in that your chamber has to run the gambit between industrial all the way down to mom and pop. You got retail, you got service, you've got everything, but you also have to run the gambit between two sides of the river. So talk to me a little bit about how intentional the targeting is.
It's extremely intentional. When the first couple of weeks one of the main conversations I wanted to make sure our organization was having was with all of our smaller cities, Donaldsonville, Gonzales, Sorrento, Prairieville, Galvez, Panama, and making sure that they're recognizing that our organization is not just one side of the river, one section of the community, that we're broad. And we've been very intentional about the relationship within Donaldsonville. They're going to see the most growth over the next 7 years.
Yeah.
99% of the development coming to Ascension Parish. Let me not exaggerate. 90% of the development coming to Ascension Parish is going to be on that side of the river. And I think being very intentional and making sure that the partnerships are locked in is key. And they are. They really are. The one thing that Ascension Parish has done better than what I've seen most parishes that I've had a chance to work with is that everyone is aligned, from our parish president to our sheriff to our school systems, both K through 12 and at the community college level, and then municipalities across the parish. Everybody is in line that industry is what's driving this community. We want more business, and we want to continue to improve our tax base and for safety and education. It's a pretty simple formula.
Going to bounce around a little bit here with Donnie Miller from the Ascension Parish Chamber, because you mentioned about on the education front, and honestly, that translates to workforce development as well. Talk to me a little bit about what went into this year specifically expanding the Young Ascension Professionals program.
Brian Henderson and Tia Starr, Brian Henderson out of Hancock Whitney and Tia Starr from Oshner, came together a couple of years ago with a concept and said, hey, we like what Baton Rouge is doing. We want to copy the model and see what we can do and bring that into Ascension Parish. And since then, this just been a boom. I believe they've got over 650 contacts of people that they're emailing regularly for events. And every month, similar to a Rotary Feel or similar to a small business meeting, they're bringing these groups of young professionals together for conversations about a specific topic, whether it's succession planning or tax work or legal assistance or personal branding. But the coolest thing about this young professional group is you do not have to be a member of the organization, and it's free to attend. Now, as the CEO of an organization, I would I would love to find a way to monetize that a little differently, but I definitely see the benefit over time of bringing these folks together and getting them engaged in the community. And these were opportunities that I didn't take advantage of when I was 21, 25, 27. And if I could go back in time, A, I'd be way better at T-ball, but B, I would definitely take advantage of opportunities like this.
Got Donnie Miller on with us talking about it's kind of the year in review for the Ascension Parish Chamber this morning, because I tell you, as December rolls through, it's going to roll through fast, and we're probably going to be out more than we're in. So I appreciate you knocking this out so early on in the holiday season, Donnie. Let's move over to small business and entrepreneurship, because you've done something in Ascension that I really hope is replicated literally everywhere else. The Small Business Network.
Yeah, the Small Business Network it's ballooned. We have a committee of, call it 8-10 individuals that come together every month, and they're doing the work of what a Chamber of Commerce should do. It's really driving our business community in a specific direction. If you date chambers over time across the country, that's their mission. It's to take on important work and bring influential people together to drive that message. Well, we've done that with small business. And from what I've seen, is just hockey stick growth of attendance. And it's the topics, it's the attendees. It's not just basic one-on-one on taxes, but we've brought in experts on AI, which is obviously a topic that everybody's focused on. But how do you use that and maximize efficiency within your own small, medium, and large business? And we've seen success stories come out of that. Not only businesses collaborating and gaining more business, but there's been better partnerships with our school systems, better partnerships with our municipalities. And it starts at the top. People attending these small business meetings, not just your mom and pops, not just your vending machine companies and your real estate agents. More often than not, you will see our parish president attending those small business meetings. More often than not, you will see folks from our law enforcement community attending these. And so it's a really collaborative effort, and it showcased the chamber in a really unique way.
Well, Elliot, let's talk about that collaborative effort, because it brings us around to community partnerships And this is one where, you started to talk about a little bit ago with Donaldsonville, but this is one where you get the chance to be grassroots, be retail, be not retails in retail, but you know what I'm saying, as opposed to you have the chance to have one-on-one relationships in a place like Ascension Parish, where the parish president and the individual city mayor and the individual resident can all be in the same place at the same time and speaking on the same level. You don't have to like farm everything out like you would in one of the major markets.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone is accessible. And it's a lot of the conversations are about progress and growth and not looking back on anything we're doing wrong, but it's how do we improve upon what we're getting right. And yes, it starts with those elected officials showing up, participating. And I think we've just built that opportunity and, to bring all these people together. That's what this chamber really is good at. Yes, we have a ton of events. We've got north of 70, almost 80 events a year with 52 weeks in a year. We're pushing out heavy content every week.
Yes.
Which gives a cross section of people a chance to tap into what's important to them, whether it's a small business or governmental affairs or community development, industry, education. I mean, we have something, even young professionals, something for everybody within this organization.
Well, speaking of events, y'all have a pretty solid mapped out calendar that takes you through the whole year. Give us a quick recap of some of the major events of this year.
Yeah, absolutely. We kicked off January with an awards banquet, which we will be having again coming up early 2026 in January. So be on the lookout for that. But this gives us a chance to highlight all the important work that we've been doing throughout the previous year. But it doesn't stop there. We have an industry appreciation event, which is specific for our larger drivers within the community. So it's, again, not necessarily meant for some of our smaller businesses that don't interact with industry, but it's putting the right people in the room at the right time. We will also do the same thing with our elected officials. We've got a cross-section of sporting events between golf and bowling. I'm pretty excited. We're adding a sporting clay tournament late next year, so something just a little bit left of center for our organization. But constantly trying to lean into what our membership is looking for and then being able to react in a way that's moving the needle for them.
A bowling tournament there as well, huh?
It sells out every year. It's a really, really fun event out at Premier Lanes. If it's something you haven't participated in, it's a low risk, just come out and have fun kind of event.
But I love it because like you said, low risk, come out and have fun. Like, there are certain things that everybody does, right? Everybody does a 5K on a Saturday. Everybody does a shotgun golf on a Monday, right? Like, not everybody does bowling, and I don't know why. Like, it is a lot of fun. It's a great, it's a low pressure sport that, a sport where you can laugh at yourself when you screw up, a sport where you spend a lot more time networking with others than you do actually playing the game.
And it also brings out a different section of our business community. Different companies will send different types of individuals. So the individual that's, teeing off for a golf tournament is going to be a different individual that's, sporting a shotgun for sporting plays and skeet, and very, very much a different person for bowling. I am not a very good bowler, but man, get me out there any chance I can. It's a ton of fun.
So, and interestingly enough, that different type of person who, with the bowling, they're so inviting to welcome you into their sport. It's so, I know I'm spending way too much time on the bowling because we even talk about the Women in Business Conference or the Business Expo at Lamar Dixon, but it just, with the bowlers coming through last summer in Baton Rouge, I just got opened up to a whole new world of people who said, welcome in.
It really is a friendly sport. You have that right. I find that golf, if you miss a shot, somebody's really quickly to tell you, hey, if you just turn your shoulders a little more, you turn your hips a little more. It's offensive. In sporting clays, same thing. Oh, you missed that shot. It's actually it's proper etiquette to help them say, hey, you weren't swinging fast enough.
Right.
In bowling, nobody really cares.
No, you put one in the gutter and they're not here to correct you. They're here to hand you like a Miller High Life. It's such a much better time. We are straight up out of time. We didn't get to, I tell you what, Squeeze me in if you could. One quick highlight on the Business Expo at Lamar Dixon.
Largest of the year, 850 people. It's going to be even more epic in 2026. Be on the lookout. This is a cross section of businesses and booths and networking, but also some really high level content with some powerful speakers.
In 2026, we will be here for all of it. He's Donnie Miller with the Ascension Chamber. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you. We'll talk soon.
Same to you, Brian. Thanks so much.
Always. Here's news. Oh. Come on over. What are we talking about today? Which is? Can we?
Well, you can ask me about it. I'm going to touch on it. I'm going to use the typical personnel issue thing, but I mean, after that WBRZ article last night, I feel like we kind of need to at least address it.
736 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Time to get caught up with Janet Simmons from Breck. She hops in roughly twice a month just to make sure we're up to speed on everything going on. Breck is busy to begin with, and then you add in turnover, you add in Imagine Your Parks Part 3. You've really maxed out the schedule, so I appreciate you carving out so much time. Thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We got a lot to cover when it comes to just what y'all have got going on right now, but I would be remiss if I didn't have you right in front of me here and not ask about what's been going on in the news. I understand when investigations are open and things are happening internally, like legally, there are things you're not allowed to say.
Right.
But I do want to have as much of a conversation about Reed Richard as we can.
Sure. Well, so you probably saw the article yesterday in WBRZ. Really can't talk about personnel issues. However, we do like to take a stance that we want to give grace where grace can be given and wait until the results come out. And hopefully that'll happen in December.
Okay. So, by the way, just for those that don't know the story, Richard was indicted for malfeasance in office last month. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it was way earlier this month that was he put on leave? I believe it was.
Yes, administrative leave.
Okay, administrative leave. Now, as far as the nature of, because that word malfeasance covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, I can't tell you what the charges are because I don't really know what all they entail. However, I do know that he's got a good attorney, and that we'll just wait to see how it plays out.
Okay. Now, while you can't talk about Richard and these particular charges, what you can talk about is what Breck does. What you can talk about is policy and procedure and what the playbook should look like.
So in a case such as this, you have somebody who makes pretty significant decisions. And so those decision-making opportunities have been terminated for right now until we know, what's going to happen. And so all the decisions that go through P&E right now are running through me and then my team.
As the investigation plays itself out, like protocol, because in reading the BRZ article, I believe it was he and two others were like, I'm not asking you to address the allegations, but the allegations are he was trying to skirt purchasing laws. As the investigation goes on, he's on administrative leave. Like, does that mean locked out of the building? Does that mean like key card won't work type of thing to where he can't get back in a position to have any influence over what he's accused of doing to begin with?
Correct.
Okay. To go along with that, it's the administrative leave. Is it open-ended or is there like a cap on this? Because y'all still have to do business.
Right. There is a cap on it.
Okay.
And like I said, we should know more in December. So
okay. I think that's another part of this.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation is we're very early on in the conversation.
Right.
So we will continue to follow it to be sure. That being said, there's a lot more happening as well. Holidays are around the corner.
We got a lot going on.
So I've been telling folks about the camps over the Christmas break and whatnot.
Right.
I've used them for my kids. So my kids have kind of aged out of them by now, but they are an unbelievable, they're a godsend for what are we doing with the kids?
Absolutely.
So dive in. What's available?
My own grandkids take advantage of the Breck camps. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoy watching them enjoy being in the outdoors and getting a lot of exposure to that. So, well, we've got Zoo Lights starting on November the 28th, and that runs through December. And that is presented by Our Lady of the Lake Children's Health Wander through Magical Wonderland of Twinkling Lights and Animal Encounters. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And that goes all the way through December. And we've got Rain Dog Run at the Comey on December 6th. December 6th, there's a lot of things going on.
Yes.
We've got Sensory Santa at North Sherwood Community Park, Holiday Art Pop-Up at the Grinch at Womack. I didn't do that very well, but
it's okay.
And then throughout December, there are a lot of other things going on. Magnolia Mound has a Creole Christmas and the Holiday Fair. You've got the Sunshine Social, Merry and Bright Ball at Womack, and Sweet Tooth Designs at Church Street Park. So there's a lot of things going on throughout the month of December. So I'm hoping that you all will enjoy coming out to the Breck Parks and enjoying time with your family and enjoying time being outdoors.
Tell me a little bit. I know Zoo Lights. We do Zoo Lights every year. which amazes me because at this point, I think my kids have the map memorized.
Mm-hmm.
So, but tell me about the Magnolia Mound event.
Well, I would be more than happy to give you more information about that.
Okay.
But I'm not really privy to
Oh,
what
good.
all's going there. So.
Oh, good. Yeah,
But
no
we
worries.
do have the Let It Snow event at Perkins. That is another big event. That's on December the 13th, and that's from 2 to 6, and we'll have snow and all kinds of cool things related to Christmas. So
Okay.
that's another cool event to come out on Perkins.
Very, very good
Yep.
stuff. Breck.org, by the way, is the home base online. Breck.org is where you're going to find them online to get your full list of calendar, full list of facilities, full list of things going on, whether you're talking about the camps or anything that Janet just laid out for us. Community calendar is one thing, and what y'all have going on like with events is one thing. But the last time you were on, you kind of broke the news here, and then it kind of exploded everywhere else after that there's park up for sale.
Yep, we do have a park for sale, and we're hoping to have several more parks for sale
Yes.
Throughout this next year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure exactly what the process is on how we're going to be going about that, but we got the commission approved on the last commission meeting to approve for us to appraise and put up for sale the property that is behind. It's on industrial plex behind Segan Lane.
Okay, important qualifier right there, because when
Okay.
we think of Industrialplex, we think the other side of Segan.
Correct.
Is, quote, Industrialplex. But Industrialplex Boulevard crosses Segan and goes back that way.
Correct.
There are a bunch of apartments back there already.
There
and
are.
If I were guessing, that property is primed for a lot more.
So I think we're going to be selling about 6 acres. There's a total of 8.5 acres there.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how it's going to be subdivided totally.
Okay.
And whether or not we're going to do that. That was just something that we've talked about doing. But yeah, it's between the FedEx and then the apartment complex. So it's behind in the back area back there. It's been clear cut. It's a good piece of property for companies or apartment complex or, industry, all kinds of things that you can do with that piece of property.
Walking through this process, and we're a couple weeks
Mhm.
into it, and I'm not looking for details on like
Sure.
whether or not you've got buyers yet, but this is something that you and I have talked about on a number of different occasions, is that Breck has a lot of land.
Yes, we do.
And a lot of parks, y'all are getting a lot tighter about saying, okay, this property's obsolete, that property's obsolete. And now we're starting to walk down the path of actually looking at this
Right.
from just being a good steward of dollars, a
Right.
good steward of all the
Correct.
all the resources that are available to
Mhm.
you. How's this been going so far? As far as like, is it well received internally to be able to say, yeah, we're selling off a property or two?
Yeah, I think overall everybody likes the way that we're heading so that we can really put our efforts into the parks that we need to be putting our parks in. So another thing that we're doing kind of in conjunction with this is we're looking at all of our rec centers, and we're doing an assessment on our rec centers to determine where we need to have rec centers, what kind of rec centers we need to have, and whether we need to refurbish them. We're trying to make our footprint a little bit smaller, but make our parks better.
Right.
That makes sense.
No, it absolutely does
Mhm.
make sense. I mean, what's the use of having like close to 200 properties if you only going to use 2/3 of them? You know,
Right.
it's like, and that was a previous iteration of what Imagine Your Parks was going to be.
Right.
Was, if I'm not mistaken, that was like round one of Imagine Your Parks was like every block had to have a park, and I'm exaggerating,
Right.
but hyperbole aside, as Imagine Your Parks has evolved, we've adapted community-wise to kind of a less is more mindset.
Mhm.
Okay, well, that kind of puts it on the tee. What's next for Imagine Your Parks?
Right. So we're working on projects for the next 3 years, starting in 2026. So we have capital outlay projects that are going on. We have this rec center refurbishing that we're doing. We're looking at heat and how we can improve the opportunity for not just our patrons to have AC, but also our employees.
Mhm.
That's another thing that we're looking at, is making sure that we've got cooling stations for our employees, because we've got a lot of employees that are out there mowing grass. And, that's one of the biggest complaints I think that we get, is the grass is not being mowed often enough. And during the summertime, that gets very, very trying for people on mowers and trimmers and whatnot.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
trying to keep that. I did want to mention that our rapid response program, we talked about that the last time. We have an 88% resolution rate right now. which is super. And I wanted to address this one thing because this is something that's come out. We are in the process of training our team on how to respond to those requests. So just making sure that we're clean around the edges. We're not abrupt and answering like, well, we already did that. We finished that last week. Something to that degree too. Thank you for your interest. That issue is taken care of. We hope that you enjoy your time in the parks. Just the way we say things.
And that often gets overlooked when, like, the internally, not the parks themselves,
Right.
but internally. You and I have had so many conversations about building out policy, building out procedure, building out things that were just assumed before. They were just assumed when, like, nobody really knew, not just the what, but the how.
Right.
So building that out, I mean, you hate to like call timeout in the middle of the game to put in an offense, but that's kind of what you're doing right there.
Well, we're doing it at the same time.
So, can we talk commission for a minute?
Sure.
We got about 2 minutes left before we have to hit our break.
Absolutely.
Let's talk. What's the latest on the commission front?
So the Metro Council made their nominations, and they took effect in November. And so we have 2 new commissioners, Dr. Muriel Harrison from the Gardere Initiative. I've known Muriel for 20 years now, and she's a great woman. She's done some great things down in Gardere. And then Marshall Ortego. It's hard to remember how to pronounce Ortego or Ortego, but it's Ortego. And he is a young man that works for okay.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
You would know it if I didn't ask.
Yep. Anyway, a nice young man came on brand new last November for both of them, and we're excited to be working with both of them.
According to his LinkedIn, he's at Spiral Metals.
Spiral Metals. That's
there
it.
it is.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
A purchasing officer over at Spiral Metals. Yeah. So process-wise, we got right at a minute to go. The Metro Council approves these, or no, puts these.
So the Metro Council, it was given to the Metro Council to put the 4 non-mayoral candidates on the commission. So they voted Mike Polito to stay on the commission. They also voted for Collis Temple III to stay on the commission.
Okay.
So the 2 new commissioners are Dr. Harrison and Marshall Ortego.
Very cool stuff. Their term lasts how long? They just keep getting re-upped by the.
That's a great question. I would have to find out the answer to that question.
No problem at all. We can get you finding out that answer. In the meanwhile, we are straight up out of time for today. She is Janet Simmons, interim director over at BRAC. Like we said, there's always a million things going on, so we try to squeeze as much as we can into this segment. Thank you so much for stopping by. And
thanks.
30 seconds left. What makes your Thanksgiving uniquely Louisiana?
Oh, wow. Uniquely Louisiana.
Yeah.
Oh, we're pretty non-traditional.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the things we do is we have a curry night, Japanese curry night.
Japanese curry?
Yes.
See, you're not getting that in South Dakota either.
No, it's very good. We already did that Sunday night. And then we're going down to my son's on Thursday in New Orleans, and they're going to have some pretty traditional things down there. So yeah, pretty cool.
Always appreciate the time. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Here's your money now. Sorry, I meant to throw that back in the beginning. Japanese curry night. I love it.
Well, I grew up in Japan, so that's why. Yeah. I lived there
How is
17
Japanese
years.
Curry different than Indian curry?
It's not as spicy as Indian curry, but it is delicious. And if you like curry, go to the Asian market next to Bao, on Perkins.
Yeah.
Okay. Buy the medium hot Java and just get spare ribs, like the boneless spare ribs, cut them slice it real thin, beef, and saute that for about 4 hours, add in the curry and put it on rice and add onions. You got to add onions.
How do you spell that? Java.
Java.
Just
J-A-V-A.
Okay.
Nice. All right.
So really,
We gotta have
I
food
do
talk,
that.
Janet.
I may have to make some for y'all and bring.
Oh, that would be lovely.
I'm not turning that down. That
That
sounds
would be
good.
lovely, Janet.
All right. See y'all next time.
Later. Thank you. We should have Stuart calling in about front yard bikes.
Where's Stuart in relation to, because I went to high school with Dustin LaFleur. Dustin owns front yard, but who's Stuart?
I don't know.
Okay. Unless they co-own, they might co-own.
Yes, sir. No, not a problem at all. Yeah, we'll have you up here shortly. Exactly. Yes. Thank you for that. All right. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Is that him? Okay.
So I guess it's better to be early than late.
Always. Ooh-wee. Oh. Oh.
So the 750 traffic, total TTW man always takes it.
Oh yeah.
Instead of Ryan.
Brian only does traffic one time. He just does it in 6 o'clock. He used to queue up the weather as well, but he didn't. He just go from that straight to that.
Okay.
.755 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We've got, of course, Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday, and then of course there will be Giving Tuesday on the first Tuesday of December. And the folks over at Front Yard Bikes are doing something a little bit different this year, kind of fun, and they need your help. So joining us now to talk about that, we got Stuart Gilly on the hotline. Stuart, how are you, man?
Hey, Brian, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing very well on this end. So Giving Tuesday is going to be jambalaya on the front yard?
Yeah, so we're really excited. So I run an organization called First Tuesday, in which what we do is we take the business community, we take the most valuable resource, the employees, and we connect them to meaningful service projects for our nonprofits here in Baton Rouge. And so we're, typically anywhere from like 150 to 200 volunteers serving at like 10 different nonprofits. And we're really excited on Giving Tuesday. We'll be at probably 8 different nonprofits that day, but one of them specifically we'll be at is Front Yard Bikes. And last year we were there and we helped them move out of their building so that they could do this construction project to revamp the Government Street location. And this year we're going to be back to help them start moving back in. But I think the thing we're most excited about is we're going to cook jambalaya on the front steps of the Front Yard Bikes location. And what we're going to do is we're trying to make thousands of plates of jambalaya. We want to give it away to anyone in the community who wants to come by. Our only ask, Brian, is if they would care to make a donation to Front Yard Bikes. And so it's our way, First Tuesday, of being able to, one, provide food to our community on a day, Giving Tuesday, but also to just let people know more awareness about Front Yard Bikes and the good work that they're doing. It's amazing. If you haven't checked it out, you need to do it. But it's this idea that can our community come together in a very giving way on First Tuesday where everyone is giving. We're giving food, and maybe if they feel called to, maybe they make a small donation to Front Yard Bikes. But overall, we have a fun day. We get to celebrate Giving Tuesday, and we get to give back in some meaningful ways that that just make our community better.
Got about 2 minutes left with Stuart Gilly, talking about First Tuesday. This First Tuesday, of course, is Giving Tuesday. We're doing jambalaya on the front yard for Front Yard Bikes. Give us the quick 30-second pitch on what Front Yard Bikes is and how it came to be.
Yeah, so Front Yard Bikes is run by Dustin LaFont, and it's a youth development program that teaches kids like bicycle mechanics, leadership, community responsibility. It's through their hands-on work, their mentorship, and their meaningful opportunities that Front Yard Bike they're empowering and equipping young people to build confidence, and they can also earn a bike and they can strengthen their neighborhoods. It's really what they're doing for these kids. Their after-school program is really phenomenal. These kids are excited to be a part of the program. They're really valued there, and they're giving meaningful skills and learning that'll help carry them into the next phase of their life.
Give us the lowdown on where folks are going to be. Where are we giving out the jambalaya? Give us the address and the times again.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's 4385 Government Street, and it's going to be right outside their new location. Our cook teams will be set out there. We'll have a one-man band. We're going to kind of make it a little bit of a festival type atmosphere for a lot of our larger organizations, and small businesses too are coming out to cook. We're still recruiting cook teams. We probably still need about 10 more, and people can learn about this by going to firsttuesdayserves.com, and they can also reach out to me, 225-413-4282. That's my cell phone number. They can call me and ask me directly about it. But yeah, we need more cook teams. We need more people. We also need our business community and our community members to just show up on First Tuesday, on Giving Tuesday, and pick up a plate of jambalaya.
FirstTuesdayServes.com is the website to sign up for cook teams. He's Stuart Gilly. Appreciate the time, man.
All right. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to you. Here's news. It's behind the bookshelf. Absolutely not.
If this is the issue of being so bright for that backdrop, but it's too dark for you. Yeah. It's too dark. If this is the issue,
Yeah. They do. That light's on a demo. It's way too dark. I know.
it's like one of those things where you want to get the perfect.
Yes, and we're gonna let the we do not let the perfect be the enemy of the good. So
It's one of those things. You get one, then you have another problem.
right.
Like a black.
I don't know. I'm off it.
That becomes my job. I'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to get a shield. You go on top of that stepper piece. Like an art shield of some sort to where, like, take the stepper piece. And honestly, the 1227 logo should have been black. Instead of white. If it was flash, it would need to be all one logo.
Okay. Come on, Celsius, kick in, fucker. It started with a simple tweet about the failure. A simple tweet to me and to Dixon McMakin. Listening to Brian Howland and Dixon McMakin talk about the failure of local and statewide propositions failing at the polls. Until candidates stop running on "you can't trust anyone who's elected," we shouldn't be surprised when they don't. We tell them every election not to. That was by former state senator Rick Ward, and that's got a conversation going, y'all. We're going to have the conversation in our next segment, and that's going to be part one of a conversation about public distrust in government. Government's brought a lot of this on themselves. But at the same time, though, if you clean house, put in all new people, only to not trust them, what did you even do? How do we move forward? Governing has to happen at some point. We're talking former state senator Rick Ward in our next segment. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving dinner with Avery Davidson from the Louisiana Farm Bureau. The storyline there is Louisiana has the second most affordable Thanksgiving out there. I push back and say, no. Only when you're looking at the garbage that everybody else eats. The to-do that you would get in a Cincinnati, Ohio Thanksgiving is not what we have down here. I would push back all day long saying that in Ann Arbor, Michigan, they're not starting off with shrimp and corn soup and moving over to shrimp stuffed melon and oyster dressing. And who was it had the dirty rice? Donnie had the dirty rice going. We just do it better around here. So we can't compare side by side what they eat versus what we eat, because what they eat is crap. We'll talk with Avery Davidson at 8:35. Right now, it's time for this day in history. Oh, by the way, Brian here with you, JP producing, coming to you from the 180 Pro studio. All right, here we go. All right, what happened?
Throwing it back all the way to 1920, the first Thanksgiving parade took place in Philadelphia today.
No kidding.
There we go. Yeah.
First Thanksgiving parade took place in Philadelphia.
That's right.
Okay. And who ends the Thanksgiving parade? Who ends the Thanksgiving parade? Every Thanksgiving parade ends with one person.
What? Macy's?
Macy's ends with one person. Every Thanksgiving parade ends with the same person. Brittany, you want to hop in and help him out? Who ends
the
Thanksgiving parade?
The balloons.
Oh, jeez. Santa Claus!
Oh, Santa.
Oh!
I was way off.
And Philadelphia is infamous for booing Santa Claus.
Oh, man.
So, there you go.
It went.
That was way too much. All right.
Hey, keeping it with Santa, though, 1949, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer appears on music charts.
No kidding.
Gene Autry's, yeah.
That song charted?
It did. Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
1957, U.S. President Dwight Eisenhower suffers a mild stroke impairing his speech.
Uh-huh.
Man. And let's see. Hey, keeping it with parades here, going back to that. You know what?
What?
Oh, yeah. No, I just wanted to make sure the date was right. It is in 1996, Disneyland. Main Street Electrical Parade ends after 24 years.
Oh, okay.
Hey, going to music, that following year, the seventh studio album by Garth Brooks is released.
Okay.
Yeah, with the hits Two Pina Coladas, Long Neck Bottle. She's going to make it. And Brittany added when Garth was at his peak, but bottom line, he still is the GOAT. I mean, he is. Oh, man. And you know what? Let's see. Hey, today, keeping it with music, 2013, Disney releases Frozen.
Ooh.
The soundtrack.
Ooh. Okay.
Let it go. This is really fascinating. 2017, the longest known frozen human embryo of 24 years results in the successful birth of Emma Rain in Tennessee.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
That's wild. Anything else on your end?
Oh, I got a few.
Yeah, I thought so.
Let's go ahead and start off with, it was on this, in no particular order, by the way. It was on this day. I got to pull up my New Orleans side back up. On this day in 1985. You know what happened on this day in 1985? Bum Phillips resigned as the Saints head coach. His son took over.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
And
anything else?
Everything else I've got is birthdays.
Okay. We'll start with John F. Kennedy Jr.
Okay.
We'll start there. Also, actress Christina Applegate.
Yeah. Got her too.
Andrew Carnegie as well. Ben Stein today. I saw him on there.
Bueller.
Yeah.
Bueller. Well, okay. So that's a 40-year-old reference now, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
still holds up.
I guess.
Still holds up. Let's see. I might have one more for you. I don't think I did. No. Oh, You know what? Percy Sledge today.
Hey,
just
all
popped up.
right. There we go. Way to
Man.
bring it back around local.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I was
So,
reintroducing my kids to Percy Sledge the other night.
yeah.
What? So good.
Yeah. Also in that mix, Amy Grant was born today.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. New Orleans' own actor John Larroquette.
Okay.
Born on this day in 1947.
Really good.
Little known baseball player. You may have heard of him. Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. It's his birthday. Former Minnesota Viking Chris Carter was born on this day in 1965. Former Philadelphia Eagle and Syracuse Orangeman Donovan McNabb, born on this day in 1976. And that's what I had for birthdays.
All right. As far as deaths go here, I got Jack Albertson to start off, who we know as, well, Grandpa from Willy Wonka.
Really?
Grandpa Joe?
Grandpa Joe.
That piece of...
Oh, no.
I know. Just, shame on Grandpa Joe, man.
No, look,
Oh,
everyone
man.
now knows. Like, the fact that we all know this now, we all understand that this is part of American history.
Yes.
And Grandpa Joe was a piece of, you know what?
He was.
That mom
just dwindled into poverty.
Scrubbed laundry all day long.
Yeah.
And the whole time, all he had to do was sing a little song to get out of bed.
That was it.
He could have gotten out of bed at any time to help out.
Here comes old
Push
Charlie
a couple
with
nickels
that
and dimes
golden
across.
ticket.
I know.
That
You
was
show him
it.
a golden ticket, he was out of bed in no time. Making the other grandpa smell his feet. Because they saw they laid
the
down
way
in
they were
crossways. I know.
Ugh.
They had to smell
The way
each
they were
other's feet
lying
the whole
down,
time.
it's gross.
If anybody picked apart movies when Willy Wonka came out, that would have been the worst movie. Like, I don't know.
For sure.
It was on the level of like Boris Karloff's Dracula. It was so bad.
Oof.
Also died on this day in 1944, Kennesaw Mountain Landis, former baseball commissioner with the greatest name ever, Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
Like that. Let's see. You know what? This is a good national day. Normally they're kind of poop, but today is good. International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women.
I had the same one, and we'll roll with that.
Yeah.
It's 8:13 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We are due up for a quick break. We'll talk with former State Senator Rick Ward when we come back from that break. Before we take the break, though, I do need to remind you about Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is their website. LandmarkBankLA.com. Landmark Bank, founded in 1897 as a community bank. And as we're about to embark on 2026, they remain a community bank. They've stayed true to their mission this entire time, and it's important to stay true to that mission. When you have a community bank, you have a banker. You have someone who you are working with to achieve your dreams, to get where you want to be. Whether you're talking about borrowing for a home, whether you're talking about investing for the future, planning for retirement, they've got you covered on that front. Small business owners, I don't even have to tell you. You already know what the value is when it comes to having a banker and not just a bank. Learn more about their locations, hours, times, all of that over at landmarkbankla.com. Yo, man. Golden, how much yourself? So I don't know where the conversation is going to go after you and Daryl, but I got you and I got Daryl Orso. Daryl's going to be next week. 818 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Okay, it's time to step away from the headlines, or at least the headlines of today, and dial back to the headlines from a week and a half ago. We went to the polls Saturday before last to vote on 3 propositions to renew the millages for the library, the Council on Aging, and mosquito abatement. And all 3 failed. And this was an effort that was known as Thrive EBR. And the intent was to take a little off the top from all 3 of these individual taxing entities to pay down debt for the city parish so that the city parish could get its feet underneath it with a new administration looking to right the ship, not kick the can down the road like previous administrations. We said no. We said no resoundingly. And I am including myself in that number because the people spoke. And I said yes to all 3, but that's how it played out, was no was the winning answer. Well, in breaking down the postmortem on that, I was talking with State Representative Dixon McMakin, and while having that conversation with Dixon, former State Senator Rick Ward tweets, listening to Brian Haldane and Dixon McMakin talk about the failure of local and statewide propositions at the polls. Until candidates stop running on, you can't trust anyone who is elected, we shouldn't be surprised when they don't. Joining us now to broaden out this conversation, because I believe it's an important one to have, is former State Senator Rick Ward. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for chiming in when Dixon and I were talking last week, because I feel like you've opened up a whole Pandora's box of, like, there are deeper symptoms of what's wrong with us as people. Yeah. And we're all in this together. So that's right. Give me the genesis of what you were talking about when you made that tweet.
Well, I think you see it not just with local and parish-wide propositions, but you also see it at the state level too. Mm-hmm. When things go to the ballot, people just don't trust what's there anymore, and a lot of that has to do with when people run for office, whether it be their campaign themselves or third parties that are helping them or opposing them. The whole genesis of how most people run, or what they run on now, is don't trust the other guy that I'm running against, or let me go up there and fix all those people that you shouldn't trust. The problem is it may get you elected, but once you get there, you're part of that group that that have been trained not to trust you. And so when you turn around and put something on the ballot, you've had all these dollars spent telling the general public not to trust that.
I hate when people misconstrue local government for state government for federal government, right? Because we have different levels of government that we should be looking at differently because they all have different roles. We see different return on investment from different levels as well. Like, I'm a lot more willing to say yes to an increased millage in my city because I know I'm going to get results from it, as opposed to an increased tax for the federal government because I have no idea where that's going, right? We have different levels of government and should view them as such. That being said, if I can oversimplify what you just said, when you have a tagline like drain the swamp, you're inevitably going to become part of the swamp. And there's just no way around it.
There's no way around it. You use that to get somewhere, and then when you get somewhere, whatever elected office that may be, it makes it almost impossible to be productive and to help change that problem because you perpetuate it in order to get there.
Right. Do you have any personal anecdotes where you ran into this within your career?
Well, I think, yes. I mean, there were definitely times, we would have a conversation maybe when we were trying to pass. There's one that comes to mind when we were working on trying to do something with the sales tax. This has been, I guess, almost 10 years ago now. Mm-hmm. It was a group of us. We were just discussing everything, and somebody that had just been elected said, "Well, I don't know if I can vote for this because none of my constituents trust what goes on up here."
Right.
And he had just come out of an election. I'm obviously not going to say who it is, but I looked at him and I just said, "Look, until we stop going back home and having town halls and running on the distrust of what's up here, you're never going to have trust from your constituents to come here and do the hard things that are required of us to do." And he just kind of looked at me for a second, and we had further discussion about it. But my point was, when we tell everybody not to trust us, we shouldn't be surprised when they don't.
Right.
And there's the place that we see that the most is whenever we try and make significant changes that our state needs and that our local governments need at the ballot. They have to, in order for them to pass something based on a paragraph they get to read and maybe don't really understand, that requires a level of trust that elected officials just don't have anymore.
So politicians run on this all the time, but the government itself is not immune from it. Politicians run on this because, number one, it's a winning strategy. It's easier to convince someone that, hey, I'm the only one that can save you. But number two is, we've seen plenty of corruption, misspending. We've seen plenty of all the things that we accuse them of doing over time. We've seen that build up to where it's so ingrained in us that like, is it possible for politicians or those who govern to break the cycle?
I think it is, but I mean, I think it requires results, and which take time.
But now you're in the catch-22, Rick. Now, by the former state senator Rick Ward's our guest, how can you get results if they can't trust you to get to the results? And I'm looking at Sid Edwards on this last one. We put him in office, and he is different than anything we've had in 30 years. He's a Republican. He's not a lifelong politician. He's a football coach by trade. Like, he is a mentor of young men by trade, like by mission. And we put him in office, and then the first opportunity for him to get results, we told him, no, you can't have that.
Yeah.
So how does a politician get results?
Well, I think probably the best thing to do is you take something that doesn't require a vote of the people, and you dramatically change that and build trust with that. And as you build confidence over some time, then that would maybe give you some momentum to go ask for changes at the ballot.
Okay. So maybe something in terms of like, when we're looking at like Doge-like things out there, right? Because it's going to come around to that.
No, that's right.
You're going to squeeze down and say, hey, did a little self-audit of this office over here, and we could take these 9 positions and knock them down to 7. And if it's the give before you get.
That's right. Or, I mean, I think that an easy example to use all the time is DOTD. Like, hey, show us that you're building something before you ask us to give you more money.
Right.
And if you show us the results of, oh, look, they're really moving these projects and that project forward, then maybe we'll have an appetite to trust them with a little bit more. And I think that's sort of that's just an easy, visible example for people, but that can work across all of government.
Okay, so now let's mix that back in, and I'm going to play negative Nelly on all this, Rick. But now let's mix that back in when dollars are finite, and DOTD can show you like, hey, this project's moving forward. Let's double down on the funding here so we can get it knocked out. Well, if that project is happening on I-10 in Ascension Parish, there's somebody on I-49 that's looking for the same dollars right there. So there's going to be a back and forth gotcha from a political angle that's going to stymie it.
No, that's always the problem, right? I mean, in that particular case, you've had essentially the same funding for 40 years. And so it becomes a statewide political issue where the project's going. And a lot of times what happens is, instead of anything major happening, you have small things all over limping along. And I think that's that can be boiled down to some local governments as well.
Right.
You end up with, you try and piecemeal it to where you're trying to make everybody happy, and what ends up happening, you make everybody upset.
Right. Everything's a sports analogy with me. In basketball, in coaching basketball, and for my players, I look for the assist more than I look for the points.
Mm-hmm.
In politics, you're never going to get any credit for an assist.
Never.
Is there a way for us to create a new scorebook that says, the state senator from Alexandria stood down, didn't demand dollars to let the state senator from, Gonzales get his road done? Is there a way to map that out and actually make it to where, make it to where service supersedes selfishness?
Look, I think that's a tough one because everybody wants to do their job to represent who they represent, and whenever when things become regional, it's really hard to say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to back off so my colleague down the road can get what he needs." But I think when plans are put in place and everybody, I don't know if you ever get everybody, but the overwhelming majority of a body, whether it be a parish council um, or a legislature, they can see a roadmap to where over time everything takes place. You have to prioritize something, right? So um, I think that's what it would take. But look, that's a collective effort that I don't know that we'll ever see. But I think the biggest thing with all of this is that whether you're a candidate or somebody that's already elected, working to gain the general public's trust is something that is going to require finding a way to either get elected or stay elected by talking about positive things, not by talking about how bad everything is.
Yeah.
Taking a more positive approach.
Oh, from your mouth to God's ears. If that could be the way, because to me, that's a path I can follow.
Mhm.
To me, that's something where you have something to root for as opposed to something to root against.
Yeah.
And that would be just phenomenal. Turning the tide in that direction is the hard part. And like we said, this isn't going to be a one segment conversation. This is going to be many, many conversations put together. But former State Senator Rick Ward has us off in the right direction. Always appreciate the time. 30 seconds left. What's on your Thanksgiving table that makes it uniquely Louisiana?
Probably some sort of wild game.
Okay.
All
right.
Not sure what that'll be yet, but
well,
I'll figure it out.
You got 2 days to shoot something.
Yeah, that's right.
Always appreciate the time.
Thank you,
Happy
Brian.
Thanksgiving.
Appreciate it.
We're coming up on news, traffic, weather on the back end. We are going to talk about that Thanksgiving table. Avery Davidson's going to join us next. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Could not have been better.
Thank you.
That was like the opening salvo that's going to get all the ball rolling. I'm probably going to have like 4 or 5 of these conversations and put them all together in a podcast when it's all said and done. Because I think it could go somewhere.
Oh, I do too. I mean, look, you see it. It's very interesting now. Obviously, I've watched the legislature closer than anything, but you have so many
off. Let me put my mic back on. I'm thrilled with where this is going because it's going to be hard questions. Starting the conversation off with Rick and then Daryl, 2 guys who aren't in it right now but have been in it. They've stood in front of those firing squads and whatnot, and they don't have to be edited versus because they're not going back in it tomorrow. If you're Rick Ward, that's Caleb Kleinpeter's job now. If you're Daryl Orso, that's Dwight Hudson's job now. Yep. There's a serious level of truth we can get to. I love it.
Yeah, this is really good.
Oh. Woke me back up. That and the Celsius got me up and running, man.
That's what it took, man.
Did I give Avery the hotline number? Oh, okay. Let me give you his number. Saints are looking at former Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker who got suspended for 10 games for going to massage parlors. There's no way his new nickname isn't going to be Rubbin' Tucker. Right?
What?
There's no way his nickname isn't going to be Rubbin' Tucker.
Oh, man. I thought I heard that right. I had one ear in.
Oh, you heard that right.
Oof. Man.
Who is Roger? So
Hi, good morning, sir. This is JP with Brian Haldane. Doing well, sir. Looking at Thank you.
oh, 836 Talk 1073 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Thanks again to former State Senator Rick Ward for starting that conversation about if all we tell people is never ever trust a politician. Don't be surprised when people don't trust politicians. We're going to continue that conversation over time. Segment here, segment there, picking up different parts of it. For example, there's a part of this conversation that is going to show why we don't trust politicians, other than the fact that it's just not politically expedient. So good stuff right out the blocks. That'll be available on demand at talk1073.com after the show is over with today. Okay. As it stands right now, Thanksgiving dinner is nationwide, overall, from start to finish, 10 cents more expensive than it was last year. That being said, here in Louisiana, nationwide, we are the second most affordable Thanksgiving dinner. Joining us now to talk about this from the Louisiana Farm Bureau is Avery Davidson. Avery, how are you, man?
Brian, I'm well. And, you talk about politicians not necessarily being trusted. Farmers are some of the most trusted people in America, according to research. So I'm proud to represent them.
Absolutely. And for good reason as well. I mean, you talk about transparency. Everything they do has to be transparent through a commodities market. So they've got the built-in transparency that I would love to see from politicians.
Not only that, you can see everything from the road. Just if you want to see how crawfish is harvested, Just go over to Acadia Parish, pull over on the side of the road. You can watch that boat go back and forth, see them dump the trap and everything else. Sugarcane, same thing. Just go over there into West Baton Rouge Parish. It's not a bad idea. It's kind of relaxing, sit and have lunch in the car and watch the harvesters and combines go by.
Oh man, if only the time, man. I would absolutely enjoy that. I would thoroughly enjoy that, to be sure. Let's roll it around to this Thanksgiving. Louisiana is being reported as the second most affordable. How's that break down?
Well, it breaks down that in Louisiana, you can expect to spend about $44.70 on a quote unquote traditional Thanksgiving dinner for 10. Now, that is according to the American Farm Bureau Federation. They've been looking at certain items from, frozen turkey, cube stuffing, dinner rolls, sweet potatoes, veggie tray, milk, pumpkin pie mix, cranberries, and all those things. They've been looking at that since the 1980s. So a lot of folks say, why are they just looking at those items? Well, it goes back to the 80s. You don't change your items or else you skew your data, right?
Right.
And so while you could make the argument that can I feed 10 people on $44.70? Well, maybe portion size could be a part of it. We've changed our portion sizes in that time. And also, listen, we understand that there are other things at the grocery store that are more expensive. In fact, my wife Lauren and I were walking this morning, and she brought up, what does the survey look at? And I was like, brought up, the turkey, the dinner roll. She's like, yeah, but those aren't the things that have really gone up because coffee has gone up so much and other items have gone up. But in Louisiana, we're blessed that we're $9.94 less than the national average. And we're still $1.14 lower than our state average last year. So we're really blessed that we pay a little bit less for the turkey. For sweet potatoes, you can get a great deal on sweet potatoes because we grow them right here in Louisiana.
Yes.
When you think about what drives up the cost of your food, it's not the production, it's the transportation, the marketing, the packaging. So the less travel your food has to do, generally the cheaper you can expect to pay for it.
Got Avery Davidson on with us, breaking down the cost of Thanksgiving and why it's cheaper here in Louisiana. Avery, you haven't been listening to the show this morning, have you?
I sadly no.
Okay.
My wife and I were walking, so
we need that because I'm going to hit you with kind of a curveball here.
I love curveballs.
Can we truly determine the cost of a Louisiana Thanksgiving in comparison to other states when other states eat garbage?
We tried to do that a couple of years back whenever we decided to do our own state survey, and we included a pint of oysters in there. And we included a few other Louisiana specific, the cost of rice for a rice dressing. And where we ran into a problem is, how do I put this nicely? We're a communications department. We're not statisticians. The math stopped mathing at a certain point.
Understood.
There's a reason why I was a liberal arts major at USL in Lafayette. So all that to say, this does only look at what most of the country will do.
Right.
It does not look at some of those Louisiana specific things like a spinach madeleine.
Right.
Or the candied yams, not just doing some, baked potatoes. There's no marshmallows on the list.
Right.
So
no steamed syrup mixed in it.
And the pint of oysters. I mean, we tried that year, and it just became such a daunting effort.
Okay, well, but in order to be fair, like side by side comparison, you're not going to get oyster dressing in Detroit. You're not going to get seafood stuffed melon in Bloomington, Indiana. It's what we do here is not the same as what they do there. I don't care what a box of stovetop costs because if my family's buying stovetop, I'm disowning my family. No offense to stovetop. I'm just saying we do it better.
Well, we do it better, but also think about what our farmers grow here in Louisiana. You find the melons in season right now. Rice. We grow so much rice here in the state of Louisiana. We're the third largest producer of rice in the country. So that's why we gravitate toward those staples. Oysters are always in season for us here and available. So you're right. It is not a true comparison. And also, I will make the argument that I did not even know that cranberries were part of Thanksgiving dinner until I started working in television, in my 20s.
Right. And because that's not a Louisiana-based product. You get the cranberries up the Eastern Atlantic, right?
Yeah, and also, oddly enough, Wisconsin. Wisconsin grows a lot of cranberries.
Really?
Yep, I was just at a conference where I was learning a little bit about that.
Okay, that's a new
Who'd
one
have
on
thunk
me.
it?
I would not have known that one. Item for item though, sticking with the traditionals that we
Mhm.
are forced to compare ourselves through. Where are we? Side by side. Where are we lower? Where are we higher? Or is it anywhere we're higher?
Well, we are a little bit higher in the cost of milk because, again, you have to look at that travel. What travels the farthest? Most of our milk here in Louisiana comes from eastern New Mexico, around Portales, New Mexico, that area. And it's because our climate here is just not conducive to dairies compared to the way it is in other states, especially that northeastern New Mexico area gets really chill during the winter and it's drier there.
Okay.
We don't get that. So we've gone from, 40 years ago, we had 1,500 dairies across the state. We're now fewer than 80.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
we don't have many dairies here in the state. So we're going to pay more for those dairy products and the like. Obviously eggs are a little bit more expensive here, although we do have some laying facilities here in the state as well. So those are the kinds of things. Just think about what has to travel the farthest. Now,
Okay.
here's the part where I'm going to go ahead and throw this curveball in there. Of the $44.70 that you spend on an average Thanksgiving meal,
Mhm.
the farmer gets $4.06.
Oh, wow.
9.1 cents of every food dollar you spend is what makes it back to the farm. So at a time when commodity prices are low, input costs, and when I say input costs, I'm talking about feed, seed, fertilizer, even the equipment. I mean, we talked about watching the harvesters earlier, that combine you see out in the field is about an $800,000 piece of equipment. If you see a cotton picker in a field, that's $1 million piece of equipment.
Right.
And that farmer's only making 66 cents per pound on that cotton. That farmer's only making $4.50 per bushel on that corn. And if they're lucky, they're getting about $11 per bushel for the soybeans.
I mean, that's a ridiculously low it feels like a ridiculously low number.
When you're looking at it costing, well, on the soybean side, they're making a small profit. I mean, it costs about $9 per bushel.
Okay.
To grow. Corn, it's about $5. So you're losing about 50 cents on every bushel.
Wow.
Cotton, you're looking at about 80 cents per pound to grow. So there are some folks who said, I'm planting cotton only because we've traditionally done it. I know I'm going to lose money on it this year, but if I don't grow this cotton, the cotton gin doesn't run, and that gets shut down.
At what point does it become? I mean, you mentioned some of the availability. You mentioned dairy taking a huge dive over the last 10 years or so. At what point does it become the same for other crops as well?
That's a good question. I mean, it's always about whether or not someone can make a living off of it. And I personally, I don't grow my food very well. Okay,
same.
I tried to actually grow soybeans, and this is a true story. I tried to grow soybeans in pots in my backyard just because I was curious what was the life cycle of the plant. And when I took my soybeans off of the plant, I brought them to Greg Fox, who's our grain marketing specialist over at Louisiana Farm Bureau, and he looked at it and he said, "Your moisture content's too high. I'd have to refuse them."
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of that to say, we need farmers. We need these people to grow our food, because if they don't, then you, Brian, we have to do it ourselves. And I'm not very good at it. I wouldn't be able to be a communications director. It would be really hard for me to have any kind of broadcasting career if I were worried about feeding my family.
Then what's the recommendation in order to, minimize middlemen on this one? Because I feel like the more middlemen you have, the more steps in the process there is, the more likely you are for the farmer to lose their profit, which is also their incentive.
So multiple ways you can do that. The first is if you're in an area where you've got farmers in your area, especially those who grow sweet potatoes, those who grow fresh produce, get to know them. Buy it directly from them. There are lots of sweet potato farmers who will just sell you a 40-pound box of sweet potatoes for about $20. And you can get a really good deal that way. It doesn't hurt to go to places like the Red Stick Farmers Market. There not only will you meet the farmers like Derek and Casey Luckett, they're out there every week. You've got Lena Farms, which is out there. They're based out of Clinton. You can get a lot of these things right there. Another thing is when you go to the grocery store, and again, this is not an item on the American Farm Bureau list, but this is something that we have every Thanksgiving. I make my mother's rice dressing. Make sure you're buying rice that's from Louisiana or at least the United States.
Absolutely.
Because, you go back about 10 years and only 5% of our rice was imported. Well, now we're up to 25% of rice being imported. And that's because of the popularity of basmati rice and jasmine rice. Well, we grow jasmine rice here in Louisiana.
Yes, we do.
The LSU Ag Center developed a wonderful variety called Jasmine, MEN, and that is such a good rice. Well, Supreme Rice, Falcon Rice Mill, which markets as Cajun Country, both of them have a jasmine rice product that you can buy in the store right now. So look and see where it came from, because that really makes a difference, not only on the price, but the quality.
Looking for certified Louisiana products, which Ag Commissioner Dr. Mike Strain would certainly approve of. And in the meanwhile, as we got less than a minute to go here with Avery Davidson talking about the cost and what's available for your Thanksgiving dinner. Last item before we get out of here, and that is, do we have homegrown desserts?
Oh, we do. I mean, pecan pie, sweet potato pie, both of those are homegrown and readily available right now. I mean, if you go to Poincoupee Pecan Company or Bageron's Pecan Company, they will gladly sell you some pecans. Not only that, the steamed syrup to make the pecan pie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very much so. Look, the bottom line is you can get a lot of it done within the state while making, not breaking the budget overall, and it supports us locally by investing locally. He is Avery Davidson from the Farm Bureau. Always appreciate the time, man. Have yourself a happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk soon.
You too, Brian. Thank you so much.
Yep, absolutely. By the way, he mentioned those Bacheron's pecans. I know I already told you about my Matherns today, but that's the featured special of the week this week is a 1 pound bag of Bacheron's pecans. All right, we ran long right there. Blew right past your money now. Not to worry. We'll take a break, come back. On the back end of the break, we will, kind of an outside in. We're going to close it out next. Bro, Avery's so good. right, y'all. Oh my goodness gracious. Matt, you picked up on that too, man. Said interesting that they experimented with growing beans and that they hit such a strenuous standard of acceptance. Yeah, too much moisture inside the bean? The hell is that? I'm never not gonna have that video in my head. All the old black dudes. I want an orange suit. $8:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Man, been a fun ride for a show today, y'all. It's thanks again to Avery Davidson for breaking down the Thanksgiving dinner, and also for conceding that other people eat doo-doo and we have it better here, and we just need to live with that. The fact that, like, you can't have a side-by-side comparison for what's eaten in Connecticut versus what's eaten in, I should probably use a town that starts with a C, in Covington, right? You can't have a side-by-side comparison for what's eaten in Maryland versus what's eaten in Mamou. I'm about to be on a Billy Nunn guesser run with this. You ready? Do I keep going?
Go.
Do I keep going? Okay. I mean, you can't have a side-by-side comparison between Lincoln, Nebraska, and Lafayette. It's just we have it better down here, and it grows in our own backyard. And like to have access to all that is awesome. And we started rattling off what actually grows here. I mean, think about it. Think about how much of your Thanksgiving dinner is local, even before you get to any of the seafood. Which, by the way, if you don't have 4 different kinds of shrimp, shrimp, or like, and I don't mean like just shrimp. I mean like the seafood. My sister-in-law does seafood stuffed melitons that are like beyond compare. But like, if you don't have shrimp in that, there's a little shrimp and corn soup beforehand, a little shrimp in your stuffing. Like, what are you even doing? Why are you even here? What? Move to Oklahoma with that, right. It's good stuff. Do we have time to dive in on anything else before we get out of here today? Working on putting together tomorrow's show. Tomorrow will be the last show before Thanksgiving, obviously the last show of the week as well. We're going to take off, obviously, for Thanksgiving Day and for Black Friday as well. So we'll map out, have a lot in store for tomorrow. Do need to remind you about 5-Star Printing and Signs. 5-Star Printing and Signs. Talk about doing it right locally. Danny and his team, unbelievable with what they can do when it comes to collaborating with you and your business to make sure your business is not out of sight, out of mind. And I'm not just talking about your signage or your brochures or your business cards. They do all that stuff, and they do it better than anybody else out there. But when it comes to slapping your logo on merchandise to remain front and center, when it comes to wrapping your vehicle to remain front and center in traffic, I mean, there's no better time to show off who you are than when you're like physically stuck next to somebody on Essen. They do all of it. 271-4096 is the phone number. And then, of course, that's area code 225 because they are local. 271-4096 for 5-Star Printing and Signs. Printshop5.com is the website. I want to set the table for what's coming tomorrow, but I really don't want to spoil it as well. We're going to have more budget talks tomorrow a little bit. I'm not 100% sure if we have Legally Served because I'm pretty sure Franz is going to be on the road. But we might be taking a trip down the road to Tangipahoa Parish again because there are updates from Smitty's. Not from Smitty's themselves, but updates about Smitty's. So working on putting all that together right now. Yeah, I don't want to tease it because it's not confirmed yet. So we're not gonna, we're not gonna spoil it over here. We're just rest assured we will have a full show for you tomorrow. Another great show to take you into Thanksgiving. In the meanwhile, we are all done for today. Moon Graffon's gonna be coming up next right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Of course, after Moon, you've got Brian Kilmeade. After Kilmeade is Ramsey, and then Mark Lee Van Camp and Robbins will drive you home. That is going to do it for us today. We will be back at it tomorrow. If you missed anything at all, it'll be available on demand at talk1073.com. We'll see you later. Oh, ow, my knee. Oh, my knee. All right, guys, I got a blast out of here. I want to put together tomorrow's show as quickly as possible and get home to my kids because they're off from school this week. So we shall see you on the morrow.